Hi, this is Roldy Plays, and we're back for another video for this game of Ragnarok M Classic, or ROMC with my Auto-Attack Archbishop. This time, this is less of a guide and more of a progress video, as this character reaches its first month of action. I still have a lot to learn, and the project still has potential. I just recently learned about the Repentance skill, which is another boost for auto-attack DPS, which I will explain in detail later. If you are not familiar with this build or my previous videos, this Auto-Attack Archbishop uses physical attack instead of magical, clubbing monsters with normal attacks, like what you see with this first demo of killing a mini-boss of the same level easily. The concept is similar to a crit build knight or an assassin in Ragnarok PC, but I would be lying if I tell you that auto-attacking as an acolyte class is the best way to play it. Far from it. My progress is that I have two decent builds, one for auto-attacking, and one for emergency full support. This one FS build in particular ain't perfect, but is cheap to build. But anyways, back to the topic. We're not here to heal, we're here to smack some enemies. I'll explain the build while you're watching this demo. For stats, I decreased agility and luck for a bit compared to my previous build, to give way for more strength, which is not capped. Unlike attack speed from agility, which is capped at 480%, and critical from luck, which you can still increase to above 100 technically, but it can be disproportionate to the crit damage. For the itemization, I now have /star, refined to +9. I'm 20 million zenny short to make it +10. It is 2 slotted though, with Baphomet card and Mistletoe card that I secured from previous events. Other items you see on the screen are almost the same with my previous iterations, more or less. The focal point is to look for damage % on the items, plus enchanted attribute with flat attack and some hit and flee here and there. One nice boost in my DPS is the Greatest General card in my accessory. This is a nice card as it gives 10% physical and magical damage for a minute, which will be triggered after numerous attacks. Nice for attack speedsters out there. Another change is the Vinx bracelet, which is now gone as I have traded it, and was replaced with Adventure Master Shield with luck stats. It increased my DPS tremendously too. The results speak for themselves. For the skill build, one improvement I jumped on is the inclusion of Repentance in my skill lineup. Repentance is obtainable through Easy Monument. What it does is an active skill damage, plus an up to 30% auto-attack buff, depending on Repentance level for a noticeable period of time, 6, 8, and 10 seconds for levels 1, 2, and 3. That Repentance buff, plus the Exalt Dark Element conversion, and the Expiatio passive DPS boost from the Archbishop tree, and the priest skills like Mace's Mastery, Demon Bane, and especially Aspersio Holy Damage buff, shall make you a holy moly holy auto-attack damage dealer. To sum up my current Aesir Monument build, I picked all 5 Mace's Mastery buffs aside from the Repentance level 3 activation you saw earlier. I should have learned it way before. I have set up layers and layers of DPS increases, from Berserker Rage from Fairy Bottle accessory, plus the Greatest General card buff from the other accessory, and the class-specific skills like Repentance, Exalt, Expiatio, Aspersio, Mace's Mastery, and Demon Bane aside from the buffs compressed into Prepare for Elite, made this Auto-Attack Archbishop a fun off-meta option to a somewhat tedious job as a full support character. The next series of progress you will see on this video are in increments of 3 days, starting off with my pouring test plea last March 9th, which was 6 days ago, at Archbishop recently leveled to 96 at the time and no Repentance buff in mind. You will see how lower its damages were, and you'll see the DPS increases as we progress, as customary. The only caveat for being an auto-attack Archbishop is you do it melee style, not ranged, as compared to magical Archbishops, and of course other classes like ranges, warlocks and the like. You'll be less safe while attacking, even with your complete procs. Still, they are one-trick ponies, and archbishops are not. It covers all bases, making this journey worthwhile. This one was last March 12th, which was 3 days ago. This Auto-Attack Archbishop was at level 97 at the time. The demo shows being able to solo Silver Moon, Witch of the Otherworld, from Rollo's quest. Other characters need a party for this. Ours don't need one. The last demo I'd like to include is the solo challenge of the Rift of Moonlit Rendezvous, level 100. The hardest available rift at this moment. My Archbishop is level 98 at this time, and it is recorded March 15th, marking the first Monthsary of this character, and ending this video on a high note. This also shows the main difference between selecting Baphomet card and a Doppelganger Star card at the MVP free card event. For a physical melee auto-attacker character, Doppelganger Star might be stronger, but Baphomet gives more DPS in AoE situations, not to mention more fun. If you enjoyed this progress video of this critical Archbishop in its first month of action, click like on this video, subscribe to my channel, and don't be shy to share this build to your guildmates and friends who are considering to play Ragnarok M Classic, or want to try being an Archbishop, but is hesitant with the tedious life of an acolyte. Even priests can have fun. Again, this is Roldy Plays. Thanks for watching, and have a nice weekend.